Hello everybody, so there's a lot of discussions going on in the Psytrance scene saying that there's some creativity missing in the music, there's a lack of personality or authenticity or realness in the music. I do agree with this, but in this video I'm not going to discuss why I agree with it and why this is the case. It's important to mention it, but I think it's also important to show you how you can be creative in this genre, how you can transpose your personality in the music, how you can create something new. I think the goal here is to create this seamless connection between your mind, your soul, your personality, and the computer that you have in front of you. There should be no filters, no obstacles, no rules in between. Computer is like your instrument, like my guitars. I play what I feel without trying to think how it's supposed to sound like. The important thing is that you are able to transpose your feelings onto the computer. And I know it's difficult to make something different, to make something personal, because as soon as you do something personal, it's unique and it's a little different from what you're used to listen to. And so it's difficult to feel like you fit in somewhere, because as soon as you step out of this specific box of psytrance music, you feel like your music doesn't really fit in anymore. You think, oh, I'm not going to play at any festivals, I'm not to get any gigs if I do something different, because everything sounds like it's curated in one single playlist on these festivals and my music don't really fit in there. I would say you should trust your own voice and trust your own taste, because everyone has a different story to tell. And if you focus on sharing your own personal story, your music will be different and unique automatically on its own, because everyone's story is different. And the more you do that, the more you focus on your own story, the easier it gets to find your own voice, the easier it gets to recognize patterns in the ways that you produce and to recognize a certain signature sound that will make you stand out. An easy way to focus on your own story, to make your music more personal, more creative, more innovative, is to ask yourself some questions and to write your answers down. You can ask yourself the questions like, what is the message behind your music? Where does your music come from? What is your intention behind your music? What are you expressing? What are the memories you're expressing? What are the feelings that you're trying to express? Try to put that into words and it will get much clearer to you what it is that you actually put into your music. It gets you closer to what is happening in your mind, to what is happening in your soul, to kind of understand what it is that you're trying to express on your computer, on your music, to make this connection between your mind, your feelings, and the computer, your instrument, to make this connection more smoother. No music is supposed to sound a certain way. You can decide how it's supposed to sound like, because you're the storyteller, you're the author of the book, you're deciding where you take your readers, on which journey you want to take your readers to. You choose how the story is evolving, what the story is about. You can decide how it sounds like. And I think that's the whole point. That's the fun part, to create your own universe, a universe that hasn't been explored before. I think that's the fun part. There's this whole universe inside of you that can be explored, that no one else can explore but you. If you're not doing it, nobody will. Usually the Psytrance kick and bass sounds like this. So you have a clicky kick and a 16th rolling bass line with a pretty clicky bass as well. So why not do just the opposite? Instead of a clicky kick, why not try to do a softer kick? What if I take a kick that sounds a bit like this? And for the bass, why not do other type of notes than 16th notes, right? So maybe And now instead of a clicky bass, why not make a bass that is a bit softer? What if I take another wave shape? What if I layer it with some stereo information? And just like that, you have something different. Maybe what we can do as well with the bass, a lot of the Psytrance bass is just super clean. What if we put some distortion on it? I'm going to put some distortion only on the mids and the highs. I'm currently editing the video, and I forgot to mention that I also offer coaching services. If you're interested, just follow the link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the video, consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Now back to the video. What we also hear very often in Psytrance is hi-hats in this 16th rhythm and open hats in this offbeat rhythm. Why not change it around and make another rhythm with these hats? Let me see what I can do with these. I think these open hats, I'm going to keep them like this. Now let's get the snare. I think I'm going to take this one. Yeah, like this. Sounds good to me. Let's see if I can do a more unique rhythm with these snares. What if I take this sound, put it in here? Kind of want to put some reverb on this snare just because, you know, I feel like I want to have reverb on there, so I'm just going to do it without thinking twice about it. I think it's time to find some more sounds that I could add to it. Let's see what I come up with. Now, of course, some might say, well, this isn't Psytrance anymore. So what? That's not the point. I don't try to make a specific genre. I don't try to make a specific kick or a specific bass or a specific thing that we imagine, okay, this sound is Psytrance, and I'm going to try to make this exact sound that everyone calls Psytrance. That's not the point here. What we want to do here is to express ourselves and put some emotion, some feel, some intention in the music. If the intention that we have is to make psytrance that sounds like psytrance and to make cool sounds and alien sounds and psychedelic sounds. Of course, the music is not going to feel different or feel deep or feel intentional if there's no deeper intention other than recreating a sound that we think is supposed to sound like. So let's dig deeper in ourselves to try and understand what it is that we actually want to express. And the trick here with sound design, if you want to make unique music, is to just start from the beginning, from the initial preset, default preset here. And again, the key here is to play around. Just play around like a little kid, like you're discovering this thing for the first time. For example, I'm going to go in the oscillator A here and go into spectral. Okay, I don't know what phase verb is. I don't know what this sounds like. Let's just put it in and see. Okay, what happens if I take this LFO on here? I don't know. Yeah, already I kind of want to start something with it. Now let's see what it sounds like with the kick. Try to create your own sound from scratch and learn by doing it, and try to turn every knob that you can see, every thing that you can click on it and drag it all the way around and try new wavetables, try every possible combination, and again just play with it like you're a little kid playing around with a new toy for the first time in your life. At this point, it's not about making a masterpiece. At this point, it's about jamming like you would play on the guitar, playing around with no specific goal. And it's about expressing yourself. It's about putting your expression on paper. It's about getting yourself into the computer with no obstacle in between, with no voice saying, "Oh, it's supposed to sound like this. It's this is not Psytrance anymore. Make your kick like this because everyone is making it like this." There should be no barrier between your expression and your instrument, which is the computer. There should be nothing in between. It should be a free-flowing interaction. And also, if we want to bring more innovation and creativity and musicality in Psytrance, and you haven't learned an instrument, then I suggest you go and learn to play an instrument. It will give you this stronger intuition for music. Learning to play a song on a new instrument takes a lot of practice, and you listen to the song over and over and over again. And the more you learn different types of songs from the classics, I don't know, from the classics of rock, from the classics of jazz, or from the classics of even gypsy or maybe Latin songs, you start to internalize all these different musical influences into your creative brain, and these will translate in your music. And also, it's not just about learning to play an instrument, but it's also opening up yourself to a whole other kind of musical genres, like I said, jazz or the classics from the 80s, the classics from the 90s, music that you would usually not listen to. Open up your mind to how music is made in different cultures, like Latin America or maybe Spain or maybe, I don't know, Romania. So you have more to choose from and you have more tools at your disposal to express yourself. And I think the more tools you have to express yourself, the easier and smoother the transition will be from your creativity, your expression into the computer. And I'm not saying listening to music just playing in the background while, I don't know, you're riding your bike or getting in a train. I'm speaking about active listening. To really, the only thing that you do is listening to the music. And also maybe not just one single at a time, but maybe one album at a time. Once you have all these influences, you can take every little piece that you like most from each influence and put it into your music. And just like that, your music will sound much, much more different and much more unique, much more creative. Hey, it's editing me again. Just wanted to close the video with a couple words here. First, if you have any video suggestions or any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I will take my time to answer each of them as best as I can. Otherwise, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, check out my services in the description below. And you can also check out my music. Of course, I will be listing my latest releases. And I'm also currently working on my debut album. It's almost finished. It will come out very soon. It will be my best and most innovative work yet. So stay tuned for that. See you next time. Bye bye.